now.
Bing!
All right, nerd now. Let me get my tablet up here with the show notes here. Okay, so as everybody can see, look. By the way, Joe, I did a internet test. What's everything going with OBS going, with this broadcast going, everything going? 500 down, almost 100 up. Don't you dare do your good gig. I see you typing. We know you're a gig. I am making a point. I am making a point that it's not my internet. But here's the thing. We're all dads. We all have to go through change. We all grow, right? We're trying something new. So part of this story, part of what I'm nerding out about is I'm changing this into like a man cave, right? And in that sense, bringing my Batman couch back, and I've got my Batman table right next to me that you can't quite see. Oh, but maybe you could if I just do this.
If you just do this.
Look, there's the shot from the dad. So, buddy, dad pulls over here. I've got my main camera right here. I've got a nice little board that works. I just don't have it set up right now. I do take tech issues personally, random kid. I'm a professional. One day I'll be a professional, but I got to earn that R. I don't know why I said that. But so I discovered some new ways to do things on this past Sunday. Now, typically and traditionally, wired cameras are the best, right? They're stable. That signals the fastest through the cable, typically, those kind of things. But on Sunday morning, I walk in to do the Metron gig that I always do. We put up the camera like normal. Everything's good. And I turn it on. I go to the computer and it pulls up OBS. I use OBS and nothing from the camera. And check the cable. Cable's good. The little UDAP device, ATA, UDAP device that we have is lit up green. It's saying everything's good. Nothing. Go to the camera, and it's not showing that it's outputting any HDMI or audio. Don't know why. And I'm like scrambling to fix it, because how do you replace that in mid go? Well, the first thing I did was I always happen to have two phones with me, which is great for camera work. And so I immediately logged into YouTube on one phone and just did a direct broadcast, threw it up, and all it's hearing is what the iPhone hears. So it's really echoey. I can't even do the echo in here. It's really echoey and loud. Crap. But I'm like, I remember NDI. And I just had to update a few things. Had to throw in my laptop, and then actually, and y'all said it was worse, and that's fine. But Apple to Apple, right?
It's looking a bit better now, to be honest.
I dropped the resolution down just a touch to see if that would help. But when technically it's wired, and so I have the C charger plugged into it. But it is NDI, which I forget what NDI actually stands for, but it's essentially security streaming, like security cameras. It's a protocol that you can take any Wi-Fi camera and use
network device interface.
There you go, Joe. I knew the nerd would find it. And so I was like, I knew it was there. I got the tool set up, and very quickly, because I already use NDI for the screens. So the lady who does the screen sits on she sits away from me, right? Running a cable for video would be horrible. And so we have it where she was already sending it through NDI. But for some reason, some things had to be updated. It didn't matter. So I was able to grab my phone camera, which is very sharp. I have the facing me camera so I can see myself on the screen because I'm pretty. I like it. But I was using the back end. Anyway, I was able to grab the screens, grab the camera, threw in my wireless mics because they're USB-C. So I was able to slap in the wireless mic and said, here, go take this to him before he started the podcast. So he's just doing announcements and stories and whatnot, and ran it down. And so crystal clear audio from the newer mics. Thank you, newer. You need to sponsor me because you guys are the best, and I'm going to spend way too much money with you. So please help me out. Give a brother a discount because those wireless mics I got months ago, right back at Christmas, and I've talked about saved my butt many
before
times.
Christmas. Oh no, you were using you were using Tyrus before Christmas. Got it.
Correct. But the USB-C aspect, man, just plugged right in my computer. So OBS took that audio, took the NDI camera from my phone, took the NDI screen, put it up just like no, and it looked better than the camera we have. Now this week, I'm going to borrow one of our Dragon Con Mevo cameras. I know I froze. There's apparently a timer on the NDI that I cannot turn off. So it's free though.
Just channeling your inner Elsa. Got it. Okay, continue.
Yeah. I got finger guns on the screen there. There I am. So, and that's the thing. I am using a free app that is amazing. It lets me pick the resolution I want to broadcast at. I turn my mic off and on, use it front or back. I can have a grid to set up the screen, and I can actually change brightness and zoom on it. But I guess because it's free, there's some kind of timer. I don't know. And I don't know what that timer is. I thought, well, every time I set something up pre-show, it's a random time. Like tonight's 30 minutes beforehand. So I turned everything off tonight before I started. Maybe it's a 45-minute timer because that's about 40 where we are from where I started the camera. Anyway, but the other one's still going. It hasn't shut off yet. I only set that one up to take the watch out to say, look at me, I can play with toys. So I got to figure out why that is. Anyway, long story short, like, holy crap, threw up a phone, threw up my wireless mics, broadcast out, and it was one of the best broadcasts we'd done in a while because the camera's older. It doesn't do all the HD that I need it to. It's not, it doesn't do the darks as well as I'd like to and all that kind of resolution. So I brought it, not the camera, I brought that technology home. And Joe, quite literally, if we wanted to do a broadcast, as long as we have decent internet, all we need is decent internet, which that phone over there on the desk usually has pretty good internet over the new phone that I have because it's carrier or whatever. We're good. 2 wireless mics, high def camera, laptop, done. It's amazing. I think you froze.
Noise.
Yeah, you did freeze. As long as I can hear you, I'm good. So that's that whole changing into a man cave thing is I've been talking about wanting to bring my stuff back. I've got these nice little Govee lights. I went with the Govee instead of the newer, just because they were a little bit cheaper and I could get more of them. And I had a specific thing in mind of how I wanted to do it. And so I only have the 2 of them out tonight playing, but it's nice. It's fun. I've got the soundboard. It was easy to move over so I could do everything there, hear myself through the headphones, record on Reaper. It's cool. And my boy, I get to keep my boy with me all the time. And that's good. And I dig it. So, yeah, that's part of, that's my nerding out about, looks like you've been watching some Disney Plus lately.
I have. So, this past weekend, I was trying to think of something I could watch with my boys. And so I was like, all right, well, let's take a look at what's on Disney Plus. And I look on there, I'm like, oh, I haven't watched the new animated Spider-Man. Did you disable my video and re-enable it?
Yes, I fixed your video. It wasn't frozen anymore. Just keep talking.
Whatever you say, because it never froze on the stream for me.
Look, I need you to go find the skyhook. If you're going to help me, you need to go find the skyhook in the toolbox and don't come back till you do.
Okay. So I was like, hey, let's give this a try. And so my middle child came over and he was like, I want to watch that with you. I'm like, awesome. And I asked all 3 of them, I'm like, do you guys want to come watch it? Jebediah popped over briefly. He watched the first episode and then got bored. But I mean, his attention span that's about right. But my middle child watched the whole thing with me. And then Jebediah came back again towards the end. And my oldest came back for came over for the second half as well. And so we finished the whole thing this past weekend, and they loved it. And they're like, is there more? I'm like, no, this just barely came out. That's the one season that's out so far. They're like, but they very much took a ton of inspiration from the old school comics. Like the art style in and of itself, I would guess is 60s or 70s comic book art style. And yeah, no, they did a real good job. And they even the old Doc Ock, he kind of has that squarish head,
Okay.
you know,
Yeah.
and he's got the yellow and green that like straight out of there. Some of the characters
You know something.
they did some changing. Like Dr. Connors is in there, and they gender bent Dr. Connors, which is fine.
They've done that before, actually.
Yeah, they well in Spider Verse they gender bent Doc Ock to be Olivia Octavius or whatever. Um, and so yeah, they've been playing around with stuff like that and whatnot. You messed up your camera something
Look,
fierce.
you just keep telling the story. You don't worry about what I'm doing.
Okay, all right. He's nerding out about tech issues.
Right.
I get it. So
My God, I can't clean something up without you calling it out. For Christ's sake.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Starfest is going to be interesting, people.
Oh yeah, Stellarfest is going to be awesome. But there was some people complaining because they switched out the Osborns to be African American. I personally didn't have any issue with it. But yeah, it all in all, it ended up being really good. They definitely established that it's a separate universe because they talk about some of the things that happened in the actual MCU, but based on the fallout from it, you're like, that's not how it happened in the movies. Because I mean, mild spoiler alert, they bring up the Sokovia Accords and they bring up the Civil War fight in at the airport.
Okay, which we saw, which is not the Sokovia Accords from the comics. That's the one from the movies.
Yes, correct. So they bring up that instance. Spider-Man never went there in this universe.
Okay.
So he never went to that point. And yeah, but no, in general, fantastic, great. And I look forward to it getting a season 2. I assume it'll get a season 2. We'll see, but it was good stuff. My boys liked it, so I had some family time with it. All in all, good time.
Zoe came across it on her own, and I asked her what she thought, and she's been loving it as well. I think Kurt talked about it a couple weeks ago, when we were on. So glad to hear it. It's the same as the people who did X-Men 97.
Is it? I don't know. It might be. I didn't look into who actually made it.
So
it's so X-Men 97 was pretty dark, but this was not so dark.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's by when I say done by the same, doesn't mean it's the same kind of story or that kind of thing, but that I don't know, the same creative force that did the animation and the voiceover and the production. I mean, I don't know if it's the same writers, but still, it is sounds like I need to check it out.
Yeah, it was good. It for those who are sensitive to language, there are some instances where there's some interactions with gang members and they tend to swear a fair bit more. Nothing crazy egregious. Like I watched it with my boys and just reminded them those are words that we do not say. So, but yeah.
Unless you're with Uncle Charles, he won't tell your dad. It's okay.
At your house, they would just be, a normal Tuesday night. But
kind of. Sometimes, especially if Joe's calling me out for trying to fix my stuff.
That's right.
So now there's one more nerding out, but it's for both of us. We are in the final stages of getting our new logo. We've been working on this for a while now, and there's been a lot of back and forth on it. And then we got a good artist, Audie Norman from Those Were the Days, and he's doing a fantastic job. Each of us are going to get our own icon that breaks out. That he literally, very talentedly, I might add, took the logo and split it out and made a hole so that I don't think he did it this way, but I was automatically going, huh. I wonder if Kurt 3D prints this, he can print it to where they'll fit. If they collect the set, they can put the three together,
puzzle them
make
together.
the logo, or they can have a set. But yeah, so I wanted to get your. I know we've been typing about it, but I wanted to get your honest take on your excitement and your thoughts on where we are with the new logo.
I think it's really coming together. We've given him little feedback here and there. He's made tweaks. He's done his own thing, and I've really liked what he did. Like at one point, I suggested in the background to have some minimalistic bits that reminded me of faders, and we gave an example, and he tried to do that, and it didn't come out that great. But he thought more about it, and he went with something different. I don't know if we want to spoil what it is, but he went with something different, and it is way better than the faders idea, but still along those same lines. And it's turning out great. He's put so much personality into the, well, we've told people we're gonna have owls on it. He's put so much personality into that, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, we've been getting. Now I know he draws it digitally, right? I know he's doing that, but it's been like pencil sketches. You know, thin
Yep.
lines. The circle that kept everything together was there, and so he could, as we're adding, he could frame it all right and this and that. And it's been getting better and better and better. We asked him to put shirts on the owls because originally they were just owls with their personalities, and man, he nailed. And I told him what to put on this. So, Kurt gets a Hawaiian shirt of Kelsey got a sneak peek and listen to that. Yeah, that's awesome. But yes, I put a Hawaiian shirt on Kurt, put a jersey on me, and put a number one dad on Joe, because almost every episode he's got some kind of shirt about how great he is as a father. So and he nailed that. Then when I came back to him, because he put some random stuff on my jersey, and then Kurt had done that 3D print and just messing around. And the way on the 3D print, the way my goatee came down into this thing, it made it look like a heart, but it's like a heart on fire. I was like, oh. And so I went back to Audie the last time we talked about it and said, hey, on the jersey, can you put something, like a heart on fire, make it, kind of manly, but, a care, but I'm also kind of abrasive.
A manly heart. We're doing manly Valentine's Day.
But did you look at what he did? He put fire hearts on the sleeves, and I was like, man, you nailed it. And we've definitely had some issues nailing the font down, but I think we got a pretty good one.
Yep.
So I emailed him all that stuff back yesterday, and we should get to see what the next steps are, which should be colorizing it. And I'm not sure how that's gonna go. I'd like to see where he's at, but I'm very excited where we are, and I'm glad. So I had plans for my tax refund. Excuse me. I had plans for my tax refund to go ahead and buy like 50 or 60 enamel pins. I forget the amount it was of the one that Devo had done, which I still really like. And it's very aggressive, but I'm still going to do that one. But I'm glad I had to wait because I didn't get quite the refund I was expecting back, which is fine. The goal is to be close to zero. We can talk about that next week as we get closer to tax day for the U.S. But I'm happy because the first one I do can match the logo. And so the first enamel pin I'll do will match the logo. And then I'll do another one specifically for like game show winners and also to sell, which will be the one that Devo did. Because that one is very aggressive and I like it too. So, but yeah, I'm excited about it. Everybody seems to be excited about it. And can't wait. Can't wait to have to spend another $70 on a jersey because the one I'm wearing is going to be Gen 1. I'll have to get Gen 2 as well. I am thinking, though, Joe, I'm going to throw this out to you, and then we'll move on to the next segment. But I was thinking about tonight when I grabbed this one, is like, ooh, what if I did like the old Mickey Mouse black and white where it's just shades of gray, and then use the logo like he sent it today, with
Okay.
just the black and white. So I do a special one-off where instead of bright reds, it's a darker gray and lighter grays, and yeah, I don't know. I will have to see how that looks. It sounds interesting to me. So, oh yeah, I did talk about. I talked to you about. We'll not talk about the show. I'm taking up too much time. I'm nerding out about a lot of stuff this week. I'm hitting a point where I'm still decompressing from the last 5 years, but I'm breathing a little bit better. It's very, very. Ooh. All right, random kids. Seriously though, seriously. Would you want now? When I say adult, I don't mean adult content. I mean when I call it adult coloring book, it's tougher, right? It's little boxes and stuff, and not just like a kids coloring book where it's a big figure and you can color and still not go outside the lines. Would you be interested? He put in here, put it on the screen, Joe. He put in here, wise and nerdy coloring book? Question mark. You know, at some point, I think that'd be fun. We need to write our own bad dad joke coloring book. That would be something. So,
And we could even put in there, well, and not necessarily a coloring book, but we could make a wise and nerdy bad dad joke book or pamphlet or whatever, and use a bunch of the AI generated owls that we
oh yeah,
did for
yeah,
brainstorming the new logo.
that's true. That is true.